I'm pretty sure most of you out there hate running hills, and that's common, but I think that if you were to understand how the hills can be used to help you with understanding running technique, I think you might actually start enjoying running hills. So let's take some time and go through understanding biomechanics and how you can get immediate feedback from the hills to help you understand their power and how you can use it to your advantage.
Let's first take a look at what happens when you run down a hill. Most people feel the force of gravity working on them as they run down a hill. And so what they want to do is they're trying to control gravity, and so they take enormous strides and land with their foot out in front of them. Now, for those of you with IT band pain or knee pain or plantar fasciitis or hip pain or low back pain or Achilles pain, the list goes on, shin splints, the list goes on and on and on about these injuries. But what we notice is that when you land with your foot this far ahead of your body weight, what happens is that all that impact travels up through your joints and causes irritation. And repeating that over and over and over again will be what eventually causes an injury. And so what we want to do on this video is talk you through how to avoid this overstriding, which is very common. In fact, about 85% of you do this. And so if we can work on teaching you how to navigate this better, you'll reduce your risk of injury and you'll actually be able to perform better on a hill. Let's think about where speed comes from. We have this great force that is on our bodies because we live on Earth, and it's called gravity. Now, I want you to think about gravity like a gas pedal. So if we want to go faster, what do? We need to get our body weight forward, and we can accelerate through that. So increased speed happens when we increase our fall angle. And what happens on a hill is that gravity is helping you go faster. And so what we have a tendency to do is to want to slow it down. And so we overstride and step with our foot out in front of us. And that acts as a way to try to break gravity or break that force that you're feeling working on you. But instead, what we want to do is change our body angle. If we can increase our speed or increase our acceleration with getting our body weight forward or increasing our falling angle, we can do the reverse on a hill to control it, to lean backwards to slow ourselves down versus putting the brakes on and jamming our foot forward, which causes the impact to go through our joints. So what a better option is to increase your cadence, shorten your stride, and continue to work on landing underneath your body weight, but lean backwards so that your foot is still landing underneath most of your body weight, but that angle, your body angle, is being reduced. It's not falling forward as much, allowing you to control your speed and reducing the impact that's on your joints. So now let's put these two runners side by side to show you the difference in the amount of impact that you can see and feel as a runner if you are landing ahead of your body weight as a way of braking versus keeping your stride short, increasing your cadence, and leaning backwards more to control your falling angle than trying to slam the brakes on. And so what you'll see with the runner on the left is that right as she's about to land, she tries to brake, and she lands with her foot way out in front of her, thus causing a locked knee and a locked ankle. And all that impact will travel right up through her joints. Now on the right, working on landing underneath your body weight so that impact is minimalized. And you'll see that the knee is nice and soft, as is the ankle. Let me see if I can zoom in here. But as they continue on down the hill, how over time, if that continued overstriding and all that impact could lead to an injury like IT band issues or plantar fasciitis or Achilles tendonitis or all those great things that happen when we misuse structures. Now, running up a hill is the thing that everyone fears and hates. It's that looking at that steep hill and knowing that you have to get to the top of it. Well, there's a couple tips that we like to suggest. One of them is to actually work on your form. Most runners have perfect running form when they are running up a hill. So Amelia here, you saw her when she was running downhill, how she had that tendency to overstride, to brake, and land with her foot out in front of her as a way to control her speed. But look what happens when she runs up a hill. There's none of that overstriding. She's landing right underneath her body weight. Her knee is nice and soft. Her ankle is soft. And so where before when she was running down a hill and landing on a locked ankle and a locked knee, she now has a nice soft knee and soft ankle, and the impact is reduced because she's landing right underneath her body weight. Her stride is shortened, she has a higher cadence, and It just happens without her even knowing that she's doing it. And so this is where that advantage of working on your running technique is present, whether you know you're doing it or not, when you're running up a hill. And so we want you focusing on how your cadence increases, how your stride length shortens when you are running up a hill. Now, the other little tip we use for this is working with a metronome. And a metronome sounds like consistent beating. And let's see if I can play one for you here. What you'd want to do is set your metronome to about 180 beats per minute. And you'll hear this consistent ticking. So that may seem fast to you, but really, if I were to tell you to stand up and run in place right now, go ahead, you can try it right now as you're sitting there listening to this. But you're going to notice that you run at about 180 steps per second or steps per minute. So it's a natural rhythm that we have. It helps us with produce energy and stay light on our feet. But we have to automatically do that on a hill, or it feels like we are drudging up the hill. Now, the other thing that we want to do with running up the hill is looking at how, let me pull your video back up here, what we're thinking about as we run. And so a great option to do is run with a buddy up the hill. Now, I know right now, these days, we have to remain socially distant from our good running buddies, but maybe a family member will help you with this. I know having my daughter help me with this, the first couple of times we did it, it was like pulling teeth. But then it kind of became a game for her. And so what we did was I stood at the bottom of the hill and I had her grab my elbow. I closed my eyes and we ran up the hill together. I learned this from my mentor, Dr. Nicholas Romanoff. And what happened was when I took away the perception of the steepness of the hill that my brain was giving me, like, oh God, this is gonna stink. When we actually got to the top of the hill, my eyes were closed. I actually felt like, wait, I'm already up here, because that daunting view of a steep hill was gone, and all my brain could concentrate on is what I was feeling on my feet. So taking a big hill, like whatever one is in your area, find the biggest hill you can, have a family member hold your elbow and take you up it as your eyes are closed, and suddenly you'll be up the hill and it'll be easier than you ever thought it was, because you're not focusing on what you're seeing, you're focusing on what you're feeling. And I really believe that runners, if we could take time and focus on what our bodies are perceiving and what we're feeling versus what we think we should be doing, you'll notice that things get suddenly much easier. The other advantage of running up a hill is that you can work on the timing of your back leg too. The quicker you are working on your turnover, the higher cadence you have, the quicker your back leg will come off the ground and get underneath you. So for those of you with hamstring strains or buttock pain, hills can actually be a great way to work on the timing of your pull of that back leg to help that hamstring and those butt muscles enjoy their job of being rhythmic. So putting that metronome on that we just used, along with increasing your cadence up a hill, can be a great way to help rehab the hamstring and the butt, because they love that consistent rhythm so much. So putting on that metronome at about 180 steps or beats per minute, working on your shortening up your stride as you run up a hill, you'll notice that your hamstring and your butt don't hurt so bad when you're done going up that hill.
So I hope those quick tips give you a reason to actually go out and want to try hills. And just to recap, you're wanting to work on shortening your stride and increasing your cadence. You can use a metronome set to about 180 beats per minute to help you with this. You can download any metronome app, or if there are songs that you like that are set to 180 beats per minute, it's another way to enjoy the songs that are your favorite, that motivate you when you're running, and use that to help you with your cadence. So good luck. Let us know if you have any questions, but get out there, try those hills, and feel their power to help you.